Hey, good morning. Dr. Wallace Nelson here for our weekly deep dive. I'm having to do a little bit early this week, so hopefully some of you are going to be able to catch this early. We will repost it at the regular time also so that nobody misses it. But I'm here in Minnesota at the Dream 100 Con. Want to get you guys a picture of this. Awesome. This is the Dream 100 Con limo that we've been riding around in this week here at this event with my awesome friend Dana Derricks here in Minnesota, learning a ton of great stuff that we're going to be able to pass on to you guys, give you some great tools on how to improve things in your own business. So knowing that this isn't normally a business segment that we talk about this, we kind of talk about health. This is kind of a special event for us to be able to be part of, and there's some really, really cool stuff that everybody can apply to their life, business or not. It's kind of life improvement stuff, and it's some great stuff we'll be able to thread in and help you guys out on, give you some great life tips in addition to the health tips that we always try to talk about. What I want to talk about today, health-wise, is actually some information that I shared with some of our top-level health and beauty influencers at our Melise President's Club event this summer, and it's such important information that I thought I wanted to get out and get this information to each of you so that you would be able to take advantage of all the health impacting benefits that it brings as well. And that is talking about body pH. So, there's a lot of talk that goes on all the time about pH level, and I really wanted to kind of debunk a few myths, make sure that you all have the real, true bottom line dirt on this, so that you can tell the good from the bad, so that you know specifically the things you need to worry about, things you don't need to worry about, and how you can actually go in and make certain that you don't have any problems with pH in your own body. So let's talk a minute about pH. pH is just the relative acid neutral basic balance that happens in your body, and it's an important thing. You kind of think about it and go, well, I don't know how much does it matter if I'm a little acidic or a little basic, or if I'm dead on neutral, like where do I need to be, what happens if I'm not where I need to be, will that cause problems, will that not cause problems? And so let's clear that up. First of all, your body has a very specific pH set point that it wants to be at. And the reason that matters is strictly just chemistry. When we take a look at our bodies, I talk all the time about how at a base level, our bodies are really nothing more than just this big ongoing series of chemical reactions. Anything that needs to happen within the health of your body, any process, any metabolism, the creation of hormones and other substrates, creation of new cells, all these things require a specific pH balance in order to happen right. Just like when you're in chemistry class and you need to, deal with the right pH in a solution in order to get the proper reaction. If the pH is wrong, the reaction can be, far too violent or not near effective enough, just because of the pH of the substrate causes a problem in that solution. And the same thing happens with our health in our body is if that pH is out of whack, those proper chemical reactions that need to take place for the healthy functioning of our body are unable to happen at the proper intensity, sometimes not able to happen at all when that pH is off. So it is vitally important for your body to maintain proper pH, and it will sacrifice near anything for its long-term health in order to maintain proper pH in the moment, because it's a matter of survival. There is a less than a 1 degree swing in pH that is sustainable for life in a very long term at all. So if there's a wandering level within your pH, essentially you can't survive it. Your body's unable to function. So you have some really amazing defense systems, as you would imagine, to make certain that you're able to maintain, function within your body. You're not even healthy function, just function within your body without those reactions ceasing, because if they cease, you cease, you die. So your body will sell anything out in order to maintain pH. And So it's really not a matter that your body gets too acidic, like as far as like a blood pH goes. It just flat won't allow it. What happens is that your body has a system built in called the bicarbonate buffer system that works really hard to maintain a livable pH, kind of no matter what's going on. And the way that we measure pH in your body, sort of the point that it matters, it's not pH of your saliva. It's not pH of your blood because, like I said, your body doesn't allow that to actually move very much. The pH that we're concerned about is actually when we measure at the kidney. So the kidney is the renal acid measurement. And so with foods, we take a look at foods and we can grade these foods by something we call the potential renal acid load, or PRAL. And with the potential renal acid load, that just tells us how much a food causes this acid load on your kidney that has to be rectified there at the kidney by the bicarbonate buffer system. And some foods cause a net acidic reaction. Some foods cause a net basic reaction. Some foods are pretty neutral. And so what we want to make sure that we're doing is providing enough balance of basic or alkaline foods to offset the acidic foods that we're eating. So which is which? The acidifying foods are basically anything other than vegetables and fruits. That's the best way to take a look at it. A lot of animal proteins, while good for your health in many ways. I'm not saying don't eat animal proteins, but they are net acidifying in nature. So when they get all the way through, when they metabolize, they have a net acidic potential renal acid load. And that's another thing that's important, is the potential renal acid load is entirely divorced from what the pH of the food is on your plate. So don't think, oh hey, a lemon is acidic on my plate, so that means it's acidic for my body. Not true at all. In fact, a lemon is alkalizing. It's basic in your body with its potential renal acid load, because as it burns down to metabolic ash, that metabolic ash is alkalizing at the kidney, and that's where we really care. So most plant foods are alkalizing. Most animal foods and some other things are acidifying. Grains, processed grains, are actually acidifying, so we don't really count those pH-wise as plant foods. They're not great foods any which way you get around it, especially refined grains. So when we're talking about alkalizing, we really mean like leafy vegetables, whole fruits, all the good fresh raw stuff that you can eat. And you want to make sure you're eating plenty of those so that your body is able to properly alkalize any of that extra acid load. And the reason this is a big deal, I mentioned the bicarbonate buffer system. With the bicarbonate buffer system, if your body is running too acidic, if you're eating too much processed food, if you're not eating near enough vegetables and fruits, and start to run acidic, your body can't tolerate that acidic level, and so it brings into play the bicarbonate buffer system. Whereby it actually marries bicarbonate, which you have an endless supply of, you got plenty of, with some specific mineral salts within your body. So things like calcium, potassium, it'll pair those up with that bicarbonate, and that it has a net alkalizing effect. Just like Tums, you take Tums, with calcium, it neutralizes stomach acid, right? Tums aren't good for you, don't do that. I'm not recommending it, but it works by the same effect, that calcium and bicarbonate neutralizes the acid. Another good example is when you were a kid and did your science experiment with the acidic vinegar and then the alkalizing baking soda, which is bicarbonate, that neutralizes the acid, right? Same thing happens in your body. The problem comes when we're not eating enough of vegetables, getting a good enough nutritional intake in order to provide all these good alkalizing nutrients. And so your body has to go take them from elsewhere. And for one, it can pull them from your bones, from your teeth, and demineralize in order to get some of these alkalizing minerals. But far more common is for your body to go in and actually pull those out of the bile salts that are held in your gallbladder. That is the quickest, easiest source of these bicarbonate buffers if your body needs to go get them to remedy your acidity. It can actually go and it can just get into the gallbladder where all of this bile that is needed for your digestion has been collecting, and it can suck the salts right out of it. So it does a great job at immediate survival, but as I said, oftentimes that sacrifices long-term health. And the way in which it negatively impacts your long-term health is that by removing these salts, the bile falls out of suspension. And when bile falls out of suspension and solidifies, it becomes what we call gallstones, right? So gallstones are directly an issue of poor pH management. The unfortunate thing is that many times, rather than looking at this as what it is and saying, hey, you know what, if you're getting gallstones, we have a situation with proper pH management within your body. We need to make some dietary adjustments to bring your plant material up in your diet, eating more vegetables, eating more fruits, and actually rectify the real issue that's going on and relieve this load on your gallbladder of having these bile salts pulled out. Instead, what they do is they say, hey, you're having gallstone issues, and they remove your gallbladder, which digestively disables you for life. There's flatly, I don't say that to be harsh, there's flatly no other way to look at it. This is a vital dietary organ in your gallbladder, and those who have had gallbladder removal surgery will tell you that there are some specific things that have to happen the rest of their life just in order to try to function normally digestively, and I don't want to see anybody go that route that doesn't have to go that route. So please pay attention to what's happening with proper pH balance in your diet. It's so easy to do. I'm not asking you to buy test strips. You don't have to do any of these things. Just make certain for a huge number of reasons that you're getting plenty of good plants in your diet, plenty of good greens, plenty of fruits, plenty of other vegetables, cutting down on the processed foods. Just make sure you're eating the right type of foods to maintain a good, healthy pH balance, and your body will thank you for it, both in the short term, in which it is able to function at the proper pH level without having to get in and rob your body of nutrients with bicarbonate buffer system, and in the long term when you're able to keep all of your bone and tooth density because minerals haven't been robbed. Long term when you're able to keep proper healthy function of your gallbladder because it hasn't been compromised by the removal of these bile salts. And it's so easy to do. So for one, we just like to see a lot of diversity in your diet. You want to make sure you're including plenty of this vegetable matter. For two, that's one of the reasons, main benefits of the Melisse Greens product. We're giving you something that on the go, you can just mix into water, mix into your daily MRP shake, and provide some of the most potent alkalizing nutrients, pH balancing nutrients to your diet with all the fantastic, super green plants that are included in that. Additionally, the Super Berrien Greens product that we have with Melisse, the Daily Antioxidant Essentials, just packs a huge punch of this healthy pH balancing, alkalizing effect. So that's what we got for today. If you have any questions that you might like to ask to clear up, specific pH issues in your life, or want some extra direction on how you can move to a healthier lifestyle, healthier way of being, please go ahead and reach out to our incredible Melisse sales education team. They're very, very well educated. They have access to me. If you have any questions that you'd like them to pass along to me, please go ahead and reach out to them either by email, off of chat on the Melisse website, or by phone at 1-800-548-0569. They're there, they're ready to help you, and absolutely are people that live to be able to serve and to help change your life in a positive way. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you joining me a little bit early today. Watch for us next Monday for another deep dive. And as always, if there are any specific subjects that you would love to hear covered here on the deep dive regarding your health, your wellness, please go ahead and you can actually mention those here in the comments. Send them to us via Messenger, whatever you'd like to do to get those over, and we'll get them covered for you and talk about the things that are important to you in your life and your health. Thank you.